T&E Magazine presents for you phone interview with Joel Benjamin, co-owner of Nicholas Brooklyn. Enjoy.
Hello, Brother Benjamin. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Miss Nicole.
I really appreciate you taking the time out to do this phone interview with us. So, guys, you asked for it, you got it. We got Brother Benjamin on the line from September's issue, who walked us through how to do the 40-day fast, which everybody wasn't successful with that, brother. We definitely gave it the best we had, but a lot of us didn't complete that 40-day fast. I'm not going to call everybody out, but...
I didn't even complete the 40 days. The most I was able to do was, 2 weeks and a half, and that's only because, like I did say before, I did put it on one of my videos. Had I have known it was Mercury retrograde, see, all these things play a factor. Plus, if you go in and you working and you're amongst certain people, we got to learn. You got such a thing called incubus and succubus energy drainers. But before I go any further, because, I could go on and explain a lot, what questions you got for me? Because I was just about to jump into it. What questions you got for me, Miss Nicole?
It's funny that you mentioned Mercury retrograde, because I was going to ask you, for this month of October, what are some of the different elements in which we have to prepare ourselves for going into this new season? Because October, as you know, is our eye-opener issue, where we're talking about the life that happens behind the curtain. Everybody sees The Wizard of Oz, and it really talks about how they hold this man up to a higher sense of self, thinking that he's greater than you could ever be, and at the end of the day, it's just a regular man behind the curtains, but he knew how to move the lights and mirrors and flash to create an image that you thought was greater than yourself. So
correct. So I'll just break it down for you, because I've been starting since Mercury retrograde, and when I tell you I've been getting beat up during this Mercury retrograde, if I didn't know what I known, I would have been done off. So just a point is being that it's over. People think, oh, it's over, I'm safe, I'm out, I'm in the clear. Wrong. It don't work that way. With Mercury retrograde, you have when it's called pre-Mercury retrograde, and then you got the residuals, meaning it's already gone, but it's still some remnant there that might last maybe, I'd say about a week, maybe 2 weeks. And it'll be just as strong as that sucker was there. And right before it starts, about the same thing, about a week, maybe 2 weeks. All right? Now, with that being said, October is perfect when you just said with October, the stuff behind the veil and whatnot, because that's for a lot of people to actually work on certain projects and stuff they're doing, especially after this Mercury retrograde just finished. Because, if you're doing Mercury retrograde, you should hold off on making certain deals. Now, it's special deals if you can, and it seems very profitable. Definitely make the deal, but definitely go through that deal with a fine-tooth comb, okay? Now, with that being said, when you're dealing with this October month coming in, you are supposed to be the one that's behind the veil, meaning you're hidden, but you're creating behind the scenes. You're doing everything, you're building up, because when come November is the time you'll see that plant grow and everything flourish. Now, I know I'm jumping ahead because I went into November, because I got some stuff for November too, and I'm making sure I'm giving the listeners everything they need to know. I don't like just sticking on just October for them, and then, they're not eating, they ain't getting the real fruit that they deserve. So, with that being said, when you get, your act together, so to speak, you start doing what you have to do. You get certain items like the Penny Royale. We sell that on nicholasbrooklyn.com. Or anybody in New York, they could just come to 570 Fulton Street, right? That's in Brooklyn. We have the Penny Royale. We have the hyssop oil. These are certain things you want to be bathing with through this time of October. If you got a business, you want to mop out your business with it. You have something called lemon eucalyptus. You put that on your skin, and that's to make people trust you more, deal with you more. All right? So all these things are a factor that people have to add in. Then we also sell the crystals, right? You have certain crystals depending on who you are and what you're going through for this month of October. All right? It's certain crystals you might need for protection. So you might need a black tourmaline, or you might have to step the game up. If you're a person, you want to be more active into entertainment and you want to know what's going on around you, a great stone would be hemimorphite. Okay? So these are the things that you need to know when going in, because remember, you just came out of Mercury retrograde. If anybody listened to the interviews I did, one I have on my channel, that's Joel Benjamin 528, all one word, Joel Benjamin 528. When you go on there, you'll see what I'm talking about, the Mercury retrograde and the different aspects of all these different things that take place. When you go on there, please pay attention. This is for the listeners. Please pay attention, because you have certain people that's under spiritual attack. All right? If you're under a certain spiritual attack, especially you was going through this Mercury retrograde, everything is enhanced. Everything that you're trying to do, you notice like it's failing. You're supposed to have certain business calls. Your phone messing up. You can't get through, because it also messes up communication. But the people who want to see you fail, the people who are evil, the people that means you no good, okay, that is enhanced times 100. And if you got people saying, oh, I don't got any enemies, everything is okay, everything is peachy, yeah, okay, you will be surprised, literally surprised. Because these are things.
I would like to go into my second question, because, with it being October, a lot of people know you as, Brother Spook. They say.
Yeah, MC Spookism, that's right.
And with October being a month that has been historically known as a month where witches and ghouls and goblins and fear is a factor. It's just a large factor to this month, whether it's practiced through somebody or it's being practiced on them, like you were saying. What are some of the different things that people should be aware of this month, as far as like in the elements of the month of October, with all the different things going on with Halloween and stuff? How are some different ways people can compare themselves to heal themselves through this month and shield themselves from any negative energy, with that being such a strong presence in our country?
Well, definitely, this is one of the months where the energies is going to be, the negative energies is going to be at its highest, okay? So you got to be careful. I just interviewed a brother called Dr. Alim Bey, where he was giving a breakdown of correlation with the angels and the body. I suggest people get aligned with these angelic beings, because people like to say, well, I don't deal with the Bible, I don't believe with the Bible, blah, 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 blah. But, they contradict themselves a lot, because then they turn around in the same breath and say, yeah, I know demons are real, I know spirits are real, and I've seen this. So, okay, what do you think is around that's supposed to help fight these things off? So, that brings me into your succubus and incubus. The succubus is supposed to be the female, one that drains the man's energy sexually. Then you have the male that drains the female the energy sexually, which is the male is the incubus. Now, let's fast forward. You meet a person and you're dealing with them, especially around this time, with things that is heightened, and they're draining your energy, or they have certain entities on them, and you having sex. It's going to be very hard for you to get that off. You get what I'm saying? So that's one of the first things I always throw out there as people to watch out for, especially around this time. Okay? You have to protect yourself sexually. Period. Okay? These things are not a joke. When you start learning about people who are sleeping in bed, particularly women are sleeping in bed, and certain things is coming to have sex with them, I can't tell you how much people have that I help with this type of situation, and they feel that it's taboo and they're afraid to talk about it. And when I say people, I'm talking about doctors, lawyers, judges, okay, officers, sergeants, high rankers, and they don't want to sound crazy. They know the stuff is going on, but they don't want to sound crazy to people because then, you know, they might end up in a freaking G building or something. So what is the next way to get a hold of a grasp for yourself if you are currently in that situation or you want to protect yourself from that situation? That's when you start dealing with what I said before, the pennyroyal, the hyssop oil. On my page, I didn't post that up there, but I will post it up. I show how you clean out your vehicle. You clean out your business, you clean out your vehicle, and really, I want to say smoke it out. Same damn thing. You just clean it out by smoking it out, okay? When you do that, you take the chalice, you smoke it out, you get your frankincense and myrrh. But a lot of times you got to step the game up than just frankincense and myrrh. So that's where you'll find the three kings rock incense come into play. The Jerusalem rock incense come into play. 7 African powers, that's a very powerful one. Okay, 7 African powers, very, very powerful incense. Your patchouli, your lavender, and you burn these things on the charcoal. Okay? When you burn it on the charcoal, you add the chalice, you swing the chalice back and forth, just like how you see some of them Catholic priests and Tibetan monks, all of them. You know, I'm just saying that so people get a pretty picture and idea. Because you'll be surprised at how much people that don't know about it. Or it's either called a chalice or a smoker. We also have that provided at nicholasbrooklyn.com. So there's no excuse, because what I've been finding out is after people find out the information, they have a hard time finding where to go get the tools that they need to spiritually fortify themselves. So, our next thing you have to look out for is lending people money and borrowing, but more so lending people money. I will tell you why. It has, and this is all around the same time of October I'm talking about. You always got to watch out for this, but especially around this time, because people have something on them called the auric residue, right? You'll have somebody that come and want to borrow money from you, and they really secretly hate on you. So once they get that money from you, that has your auric residue, you have their auric residue. They not probably intentionally trying to harm you, but they're in their bad-minded self of jealousy on you can affect you. That's where you start dealing with scalar, waves, brain path, brain path frequencies, because there's a lot of stuff you could affect with your brain. So you have these people hating on you constantly. Then they take something personal of yours. It's a wrap. Next thing, when you for women, when you're having your period, make sure you break that pad up or whatever and flush it, or throw it away when nobody's around. Don't leave it where other people that's against you and don't like you could go get it, because now you're putting yourself in trouble. They have the blood. You know the saying, the life is in the blood? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, let me show you how powerful life in the blood is. Because we already know they take these stuff to do voodoo, different witchcraft, and all other types of different spiritual systems that is meant to destroy you. You know, they could use it for good, they could use it for bad. It just gets, you know, a lot of people want to use different things, systems for bad. So, now, when they take your blood, this is a study, anybody could go look it up. They'll take your blood, they'll put it in a petri dish or in a freezer somewhere. So say you're here in America. They will take your blood and take it all the way over to Africa. Do you know they have it where if they infect that blood, depending on how strong and fortified your body is spiritually and physically, do you know they could put a virus in that blood and you get sick? All the way here in America, they'll put the virus in the blood in Africa, and vice versa. If you get sick, they could take that blood, test it, and see like you are sick with that blood. I challenge anybody. You could go look up this information. This information is not hard. Like in one of my lectures, I take people to the FBI website where they have the disclosure files. So it got the information out there. It's just that people is not aware of it and they're not looking for it. And if they are looking for it, they're too scared to go look for it, because when you go on the FBI website, although it's disclosed for the people, the information, they start watching you. And that's just a risk you're going to have to take. They're watching you any damn way. And people don't realize that. So when it comes to dealing with spiritual stuff, that's the best way to protect yourself. You know, you say your psalms, open that Bible, read them psalms, say your mantras, say your perform your meditations. Because if you don't, coming around these times, you're going to be messed up in the game. I hope I explained myself pretty good to you on that one.
Yes, I think you did an excellent job, brother. I really do. When you said say your mantras, what are some of the mantras that you recommend for the month of October?
Well, I definitely released this mantra. This is supposed to be the name of God and, you know, what people even really call Jesus. This is the actual Hebrew name. This is a Hebrew mantra. And it goes, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. So that's Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Now, anybody that has a mala or, you know, a rosary, but more so a mala, make sure you have the 108 beads on there. And you say that 108 times a day. You don't have to just do it in the month of October now. You could say this mantra every day in your regular life on the regular. You will see a big, huge, dramatic change in your life when it comes to money and protection. I got old videos where I gave out mantras before, some old mantras that I knew worked for a fact, but none of them work as strong, as fast, as powerful as that mantra I just gave you there. I'll say it one more time. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All right? One more time. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. And
what does that mean in translation?
You just say the name of God and the Son of God. That's it.
Okay. Now, another.
That's the Hebrew. That's the Hebrew, by the way.
Version. Now, speaking of power to prayer, I was watching a video not too long ago. I think it was Ganu was doing a video with Brother Rich, and he had mentioned in the video praying at 11:11 every day, 11:11 in the morning and 11:11 at night. What do you feel about this prayer time process? And
well, as you know, in that same interview, I also joined in on it, and I interviewed Brother Gano Grills. Yeah, shout out to Rich too, Underground Railroad, and definitely shout out to Gano Grills. So, with the prayer, I don't ever tell people this is the time you really should say the prayer. He is right. It does help. But in this day and age where people's body is changing, get so advanced, like I said, with the Human Genome Project, that's where they collect database of all the people's blood. So they know the people who's activated, who's awoken, who have higher spiritual powers, who's doing certain telepathy, everything. Okay? This is not a secret. So you're supposed to be a beacon. Your body is like an organ generator. So whenever you say the prayers, no matter what time it is, your prayer is supposed to reach that higher being. Now, if you want to call it God, you want to call it Creator, whatever. But the point is, it is a masterful higher being. So you are like, okay, let me give you a better example. Picture the world just full of darkness, right? But that darkness has people in there, but you can't see them because they're not awoke. They're dark, right? Mm-hmm. Now, picture in that darkness, you seeing a few specks of bright light, okay? Mm-hmm. Those are the people that's activated. Those are the people that's in tune, okay? Those are the people that don't need to say a prayer 11 a.m. and 11 at night to make the prayer work for them and do good. These are the type of people that are the exceptions to the rules. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Now, I know a lot of it, some people might say, well, that's pseudo. Just put it to the test. It ain't pseudo. I could give a whole bunch of references and whatnot, but I ain't really got time for that. You understand? Because people just going to take the reference and want to dismiss the references anyway. So,
okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this related to the next question, because you mentioned the FBI. Now, I don't know if you had an opportunity to see this new TV show. I want to say it's on Netflix, called Stranger Things. About this.
I watched all the episodes.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but one of my close friends was telling me about the program, and I was like, that sounds like a video I heard Brother Joe saying with Brother Rich one day when he was at your store, Nicholas, and he was talking about pretty much it was like they had took that whole TV series and like went to your interview with Brother Rich and decided to make a TV series. So
listen, go ahead.
How do you feel like people's image of this sci-fi ET kind of like extraterrestrial life figure is projected, and in what way can people not engage with this extraterrestrial energy, but what way can they use this energy to better their time spent here on our planet in this being, in this realm?
First of all, let me give you the breakdown. You have your aliens, you have your spirits, you have your alien spirits, then you have extra dimensional beings, you got your demons, you got your witches, your warlocks. So this stuff actually goes very, 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 very deep, okay? And each thing you have to know what you're doing, how you're doing, and when you're doing it, okay? So, with that being said, I seen Stranger Things, and I was surprised how they took it to the eighth floor, and that show was phenomenal, okay? Now, with that being said, they dropped a lot of knowledge in there on how the government was doing experiments trying to lock the young girls. They always do it on young girls. Check out the Monarch Project. All right, check that out for anybody who don't know. Check out the Monarch Project, where the government was doing experiments on young girls and for them to be psychic or whatever the case may be, and using them as training assassins. Okay, move on even further. You have they're training assassins. They're doing all this extra dimensional travel, astral projection, everything, right? They, in turn around with this show now, what I'm talking about. They turn around and they go into a dimension, and the people doing it is pushing the young girl to go interact with this entity. They didn't know what it was. But, anybody who's in the know and spiritual, you could tell it wasn't right. What happened is they end up leaving a rift, a porthole open so the demon could come through. What's even more interesting, the demons come around and attack certain people whenever they cut themselves, bruise themselves, or just to make it, sum it up and keep it short, when their blood is spilled. It smells the blood. Again, the life is in the blood. Okay? That's why when you see when Halloween time comes or just the month of October, even going into November, they're always talking about blood sacrifices, blood rituals. You know, like, where's this infatuation with blood? Again, because the life is in the blood. So, with all these things, anybody who don't believe in this, like I just said, right after I come off with you, I'm going to do a part 2 with Dr. Aline Bay on the YouTube channel. Like I said, anybody want to check that video out, Joel Benjamin 528, and they'll get to see. And this brother also break down stuff on the breath. That's the next thing I wanted to get into with your breathing. It's different techniques you could do with the breathing to help raise your auric vibration. The first person to teach me that was Dr. Aline Day. Now, I didn't know about doing it, but I didn't know me doing it, I would raise my vibration. It's something that I was just doing naturally. Like I said, the exception to the rule factor that I spoke about, you have people that do these things and they don't realize they're doing it. You have people that's communicating with certain entities and they've been doing it all their life, so it's nothing to them. You know, some are more stronger than others in it. All it really needs is practice. But it can be done, it has been done, and it is being done. And the government takes a big role in it, even down to like interviews like this. They screen everything, they listen to everything, they know who is who. You understand? They know who not to mess with and who to mess with. The Illuminati done wrote me, shoot, how much time? Maybe about 11, 12, 13 times. And people think it was a joke until I did a lecture and I showed the letter. Now, what I didn't like is that people is not sticking together who are on the same wavelength and genre. What do I mean by that? When I did the lecture and I was asking people, anybody got this lecture? The place was full of seats. It had at least about 50 to 60 people there, right? I said, anybody got this letter? Nobody answered. So I continued to read the letter. I spoke about the letter, what was going on in the letter, and how they say certain actors, politicians, and all these other people are there. Now, the letter don't say Illuminati. It says, anybody could go research this, write it down. It says Nouveau Tech. The company is named Nouveau Tech, which means new technology. Come to find out, they deal with weaponry and all that stuff for the government, right? And when you go search them out and research them, you'll see that they're a branch off, well, not a branch off, they're actually the front for the Illuminati. All right? They have it plain as day, because when you go there, it redirects you to the Illuminati website. All right? Now, check this out, where it gets even more interesting. You get redirected to their website. You're supposed to put in the code that they give you on the paper. It's like a 7-page back and front, 7 pages. And at the end, they tell you, yo, put this code, we're going to send you a book. That book that they send you is free. They don't charge you. They're going to send you a book. That book is a trap. And when you get that book, of course, it's filled up, I say, with entities. All right? So it's filled up. You get there. They get to know even more about you. This is what it is, and they want you to read that book. Certain books, certain people ain't supposed to read because they're not spiritually in tune, such as I believe it's the 6th, 7th, and 8th seals of Moses. That's a book. I sell it. People that come in the shop, I know is not prepared and ready for it, I don't sell it to them because I know it'll make them crazy. So, and I know it's done. My cousin seen it happen to people, a whole bunch of people, because they have a lot of seals to bind and control demons. Okay? So, and wicked spirits. And let's just throw in the fallen angels and all that other stuff in there. And how to just get these entities on your side. They got stuff where for you to gain money, certain symbols you can make and put in your wallet to help your money grow. And like I said, a lot of it is in ancient Hebrew. So, now, back to with the Illuminati writing, right? When I ask people in the audience if they ever got it, seen it, or know about it, nobody answers, right? When come time interview, the lecture's all over, I got at least 5, 6, or 7 people coming up to me wanting to talk to me in private, and they're able to tell me exactly what's in the letter, because it's a long letter, so I don't read the whole thing. They're able to tell me word for word what's in the letter, and they say they're scared, because they thought that they were the only ones that ever get it. They haven't run into people that have it. And that's because interviews like this on certain platforms ain't coming out. So thank God you actually have this type of media platform, okay? You with the magazine, the online magazine and stuff, so people could know better. They know what's going on. They know the breakdown, and that's what's been missing a lot from the equation.
Yeah, because a lot of times you'll hear about the hype of mass media, they just tell you the news that they want you to hear versus the news that you need to know. And one of the biggest things that we pride ourselves here at TNE Magazine is we not just giving you the watered-down version of the news. We try to give people an element to educate themselves more so on their culture and how to survive in this country and live out the dreams and successes that they want to achieve. So I think that it's so important that we give people like yourself a platform to talk to the people in their real language so that they can communicate to their culture and connect in a way where they can continue to grow. So I think that it's so important that we continue to give people like yourself a platform with our magazine. And that's all the time we have today, guys. I mean, it's been amazing. We have a good relationship with Brother Benjamin. So feel free to, all the links that he mentioned below, all the products that he was telling you about will be posted below. And if you want to get more detail on how we felt about this interview, feel free to subscribe to our website and to purchase this October issue. You can just click the link below and it'll take you directly to the issue so you can get more information on this interview. Brother, did you want to leave the people with any last words?
Real quick, they could contact the shop because, if I'm not at the shop at the time, they could just leave a message for me to call them right back. Leave the number, and I'll call you right back. The number is 718-858-4400. That's 718-858-4400. People, please take this seriously. Well, I know your listeners and your listening audience take this serious, but I want you to take it even more serious because this stuff is getting more out of control. There's more portals opening up in the world. There's a lot of spiritual wickedness that's happening. Just look around. So you have to be a step ahead of the game, people. And that's basically all I really have to say on it. I'm Joel Benjamin. Check out the YouTube page, Joel Benjamin 528. Make sure you subscribe, and I will be doing more things in the future with Nicole Stewart so other people could have a breakdown and feel like they're not alone. Don't think you're alone. Anything that's happening to you spiritually, do not think that you're alone, and do not think you cannot get help for it, because you can. Stay in prayer, meditate, and do what you have to do. Okay?
That's right. That's right, guys. Stay connected. All right, guys. So until next month, we'll see you then. Bye, guys.
Hey, TNE fans. We hope you enjoyed this video today. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss any of our amazing interviews, how-to videos, or knowing what's going on in the TNE community. So subscribe now. We look forward to getting your input on this video and the many videos to come.